Good morning. Rise and shine, my friends. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Katherine Hobbs. Thank you so much for starting your morning with me. Highs of 102 today, and if you've kept score at home, we typically get about 17 days of triple-digit heat on average per year. The past few years, though, we've gotten closer to 50. Hang in there, y'all. Yesterday, I mentioned going to the Perot with my partner a couple of weeks ago. We saw the T-Rex exhibit because autism, and I absolutely lost my mind. I read every single plaque and happy stemmed so wildly that the sunglasses flew right off my head and completely shattered in the middle of the exhibit. Keeping that in mind, just imagine my reaction when I first read today's science story. Stay tuned for that segment, but first, the North Texas headlines you need to start your day. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson removed 2 council members from leading city committees, but the motivations remain unclear, and the members say they don't know why they were removed. Adam Bazaldua, who represents District 7, chaired the Quality of Life, Arts, and Culture Committee. District 11 council member Janie Schultz previously chaired the Workforce Education and Equity Committee. Schultz told KERA she hasn't talked with the mayor about the reassignment or anything for months. Bazaldua said on social media that he didn't need a chairmanship to continue working for his residents. A North Texas woman charged with attempted murder and injury to a child after allegedly trying to drown 2 Muslim children in an apartment complex pool has been rearrested. Her new bond is set for $1 million. Elizabeth Wolf is 42 and had been previously arrested in May. The initial bond for attempted murder charges was $25,000, a sum officials on the Council of American Islamic Relations said was too low. Well, the Biden administration recently announced that longtime undocumented immigrants may have the opportunity to legalize their status. KERA's Stella Chavez brings us the story of one young man who's been dreaming of the day he can finally work.
Oscar Silva loves school, so college hasn't really been a problem for him.
Right now, we're in the business leadership building, and this is kind of where I spend all my time.
Silva's in his 5th year at the University of North Texas. He has degrees in accounting and economics and is working on a master's in accounting. As much as he enjoys college, though, he'd love a job. The problem, he's undocumented. He and his older sister came to the U.S. when he was a toddler. Their parents left Mexico for better economic opportunities in Texas. At a recent event hosted by the American Business Immigration Coalition in Dallas, Silva talks about his challenges.
I didn't really understand what it meant to be a dreamer until high school, when I started to see classmates achieve milestones like get a job, get our driver's licenses, study abroad.
Silva's 23 now and married to a U.S. citizen. He's one of about 500,000 non-citizens who may be eligible to apply for what's known as parole in place. Eligible recipients receive work permits and are protected from deportation. Silva almost couldn't believe it when he heard the news. He's been down a similar road before. In 2017, he was in the process of applying for DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, when President Trump announced he was ending the Obama-era program. The week before, Silva had been at UNT with his now wife, making copies of his DACA application. They took photos to mark the occasion.
We were excited because we were like, oh my God, this is like a historical moment. Like for us, like, oh my God, like things are going to change. And like, I still remember the pictures we took, like over by the Union. And so then.
But for Silva and many other would-be DACA recipients, Trump's decision was devastating. DACA grants work permits and protections from deportation to undocumented immigrants brought to the country as children.
Here we are 7 years later, 2024. Nothing really has changed. I've still been in the same situation with no real opportunity to really work.
That's because DACA's been tied up in litigation. The Fifth Circuit Court is reviewing the case, and experts believe it will end up before the U.S. Supreme Court. If Silva's granted parole, though, he wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Up to this point, I'd been rejected about 80 times just because I didn't have a work permit. That was the one thing holding me back. And so now it's just it's just so many doors that are going to open for me.
Still, the question remains, what would happen to parole if Trump were elected? Paul Hunker, former chief counsel for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, says Trump would likely try to end it. But he adds,
parole in place is stronger than DACA in some ways in that parole authority is clearly set forth in the law. You can't point to a provision of the immigration law that says, president can issue DACA or DHS can issue DACA. But the law makes it clear that the Department of Homeland Security can issue parole.
Silva's wife, Natalie Taylor, says she can't wait for the day when her husband no longer has to worry about his immigration status.
It's so hard to see all of these opportunities that are so close, but so unattainable because of this one thing. And so I think through the years, we've learned to be really optimistic.
For Silva, playing video game theme songs on his guitar helps, like from his favorite game, The Last of Us. For KERA News, I'm Stella Chavez.
The Dallas Wings played the Seattle Storm last night and lost 95-71, but there is a Rangers game to look forward to tonight. They're playing the San Diego Padres in Arlington. Meanwhile, UT, Texas A&M, and SMU are enjoying new membership and new conferences. As of yesterday, UT and A&M are now part of the Southeastern Conference, and SMU has celebrated its induction into the Atlantic Coast Conference. The Dallas skyline was lit up for the Mustangs last night to celebrate the occasion, and all three schools will start playing in the 2024 to 2025 academic school year. Okay. There is a brand new species of ceratops that was discovered in northern Montana. It's called the Lokiceratops rangiformis, and it's named after the Norse god Loki. Here's the etymological breakdown. Ceratops means horned dinosaur, and this dino has horns on its head that, in his case, looked like the blades on Loki's helmet, hence the name. The second part of his name, rangiformis, means that his horns are asymmetrical like those on caribou. This is the fifth distinct ceratops species to be found in that region. This week kicks off a month of Bridgerton-inspired tea parties at the Crescent Court Hotel. Each Saturday and Sunday this month, guests can dress up in their finest attire and attend a swoon-worthy day of tea, pastries, and live violin music. Obviously, it's highly Instagrammable, unless you prefer an oil painting, in which case that is on you to coordinate. Reservations are required, and for more going on across the region, you can always visit kera.org/calendar. Thank you so much for starting your day with me today. I am so glad you take a few minutes to listen each morning. Be sure to subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA newsletter, also by yours truly, at keranews.org, and check us out on Instagram and Threads at KERATX. I'm Katherine Hobbs. We'll chat again tomorrow.